Jumapili nyingine, shamba nyingine. Karibu mtazamaji katika kipindi cha Twende Shambani. Wiki hii kutoka kaunti ya Kiambu tunapopatana na mwanzilishi wa Kim Planters Limited, Caroline Mwangi, ambaye anajivunia shamba hili lililojaa rangi ya kijani anapozalisha miche ya mboga. Kilimo biashara anachosifia kwa sana kwa kuwa ameoa ukulima wake na teknolojia ya kisasa. Safari hii ilianza wapi?
My name is Caro Mukuhe Mwangi. I'm a farmer or a seedling plant raiser or a propagator. We are based at Roiro. This is Roiro sub-county in Kiambu County. So basically what we do is plant raising, or we can complicate it a bit and say propagation. For vegetables at the moment, we are soon introducing fruits, trees, we have herbs as well. So it's a nursery done in a new technology whereby we are raising the seedlings on trays, as you can see, for advantages that we will explain later. Farming, I've been in farming from 2012, so that's about 6 years. Yeah, but 6-7. But I didn't start with seedlings. I started with passion fruit farming, yellow passion. It was called KP4. It was a new variety by Curry, a sweet yellow passion fruit. So that's what I started with. I did that from 2012 to around 2014. Then this idea was born. Actually, it was born out of a failed passion fruit project, because I was really new into agriculture. Mind you, this is not my background. My background is finance, because I did CPAs, did CPA, and I did human resources. So agriculture to me came as a passion, would say. I love nurturing things, and nurturing things that will give me positive response, or whatever response, as long as it's responding. And agriculture gave me that kind of a feel. You see, when you nurture this plant from a seed, it sprouts, it grows. 4 weeks later, a farmer picks. It brings produce. You see, this is something you're nurturing, and you can actually see progress. And eventually you'll see yield.
Walisema Waswahili acha nikae kwa mpini hafi njaa, na Caro ameshikilia wasia huo, huku taaluma yake ikiwa uhasibu. Aliingia katika ukulima akiwa mbichi, asijue mguu upi huongoza huo mwingine, lakini miaka 5 baadaye
this idea was born in 2014, late 2014, when I was doing the passion fruit seedlings. You see, the spacing of passion fruit is quite big. It's about 6 meters by 9. So you have a lot of space in between. So since I had a very small piece of land, I was doing the passion fruits on like 100 by 100. But I also needed to grow some vegetables for my mom. You see, the passion fruit business, for me, it wasn't a business actually. It was a hobby. I was looking for pastime. Then I was also looking for somehow how we can grow our own vegetables, especially with the food safety thing. So I started doing spinach in between the passion fruit trees. But to grow the spinach, you need to take them from a nursery, right? So I started doing the traditional nursery on the ground. But the performance was very poor. Like a 250-gram tin, which is supposed to give you quite a number of seedlings, you find you have so little. So like the germination rate is about 30%. You're losing a lot on seed, you're losing on time, and of course you're frustrated. So I started researching on how I can do my own veggies, a nursery in a better way. And that's how online, through Google, YouTube, everything, I found out about these trays. So I looked for sources in Kenya. I was just trying to use the locally available material. Mind you, by then I was like 24. So this was a 24-year-old. Huna pesa, basically. It's just a small money you're earning. And this is the first job, so the money isn't. So I looked for the easiest way to do this. I found a company that was selling this, a local company. I sourced for cocoa peat. Of course, I didn't start with cocoa peat. I thought I would do that with manure and soil. but again it failed because it cannot do well with manure and soil because of germination rate. Yes, the media we have in here, this is cocoa pit. It's not soil. It's a planting media we call cocoa pit. So I had to source for it as well, huko, and it's locally available. And I did my first trials of spinach. And they did very well, and therefore who are now interested in what I was doing with the vegetables. And as I was doing this, we were like, hey, New Zealand here. I was like, this is business. This is business.
Najua kilio cha vijana wengi ni ardhi ya kuendesha ukulima wao, lakini Karo anawapa wasia ambao alitumia yeye mwenyewe.
Land is an issue, especially that was an issue in my first project. Still an issue, because this is rural, this is an urban setting. So getting land in such a close proximity to Nairobi, it's actually a challenge. So what happened, I was using the small piece of land that, by then it was not even, where we are right now, this is my parents' land. It's actually not mine. But the place I was farming the passion fruit seedlings, just opposite where I'm doing this, is a land owned by a friend who is in the US. So he was not using his land, but he had left it in our care. So I told my parents, like, can I use this land before our neighbor comes? And they were like, yes, you can. And that's how, let's just say I identified the small opportunity that I had. Plus again, right now, there are so many ways to explore farming without really needing a lot of land and still generate income at it. Just depends on how innovative and creative you are. Because we have vertical bags like the ones you have seen outside our greenhouse. We have balcony farming. It just looks at what problem are you trying to solve, or what issue are you trying to solve. If it's a food issue in a subsistence way at home, you can use the balcony farming. If it is for money, biashara, kilimo biashara, you can now lease. You don't need to have the land. Land is very expensive in Kenya. And it's quite ambitious to tell a 24-year-old unafaa kuwa na eka mbili unalima. How will they afford 2 acres? So I look at it this way. You'll find some places like Juja Farm, Goliba, not so far away from Nairobi. You can lease. And this lease is about 10,000 per year. And there is river just next to you. What you'll need, just a startup capital, maybe to buy a pump, so that you can be able to pump water into this, of course. A little saving would help. A little saving, let's say, because farming, it's not cheap. Let's just call a spade a spade. Farming is not cheap. So you need to have saved to be able to sustain that crop to maturity.
Basi mchakato mzima wa kuzalisha miche ni upi na unachukua muda upi? Na je, faida ni zipi kwa kuwa utamaduni wa kilimo ni kuzipanda mbegu kwenye ardhi moja kwa moja?
So what happens, the first step, the cocoa pit in here, we wash it. We buy, it's washed. Why is it washed? It is washed because it's quite acidic. The sodium levels in cocoa pit are quite high. So you need to wash it to bring the pH to a comfortable level for use. Then after we wash it, it is mixed well with something like pumice. Then you put it in the trays, the planting trays. These are what we call the trays. Put them in the planting trays, like halfway. Then the seeds, you place the seeds one by one, individually one by one. Because right now, we are using manual. We are hoping to go mechanized and get a planting machine. But as you're saying, farming is an expensive venture. So we need a lot of money for step by step. So we're using the hands. Then we cover with, again, a light layer of cocoa pit. You leave them in a room, in a dark room, depending on which crop you're planting, for them to that will enable proper germination rate. Then later they are brought in here. Like you can see that those ones have just been brought in. Then they'll be placed on these tables. We take care of them. Most of the crops here, they will take about 4 weeks. 4 weeks for tomatoes, about 5 weeks for capsicum. Yes, cabbages, brassica family, it will take 4 weeks. So once they are ready, If it was a customer's order, we call the customer like a week before and let them know, now your product will be ready in a week's time, start getting ready. Then if it's our product, we start advertising it. We use a lot of social media, we go for field days. So we have created a market base for ourselves. So they come, they buy, we package for them, as you have seen, we pack them in a carton. If the customer, because you'll see we are dealing with a lot of small scale farmers. Now there are other farmers who prefer to transport these in the trays for advantages obvious, which are quite obvious. Akienda apate pump imekosa kufanya kazi, ataweka hii. Right? Alafu pia hataki kuinterfere na hiyo routing system, anataka akienda nayo, anatoa kwa tray, anapanda. It's just how, for us it's convenience. How comfortable is the customer with, how comfortable are they in their zone? Yeah, as long as they get yield.
Umuhimu wa kuweka miche hizi kwenye greenhouse ni upi?
Because these are young crops. You see, like the way we nurture a small baby. Huwezi toa mtoto mdogo kwa jua. The conditions are very extreme. They are too harsh, right? Na hizi ni ututu plants ni too delicate. Tukiwa tudogo, this is the right condition here. They need the warmth first. They won't need to be protected against rains, against the sun, against pests. It's a conducive environment, because as you can see, we are propagating for people who are going kufanya kilimo biashara, ama people who are already focused on producing food for their place. So you need to maximize on your germination rate. Huko nje hiyo seed ikimwagiliwa maji inapotea, right? Ukieka kwa mchanga ingie deep sana inapotea. Kukinyesha ile nasari inaharibika. Jua ikiwaka sana kukumwagiliwa maji inakauka. You see, we don't want to expose these plants to control the environment, for one, because of the weather conditions, two, because of the pests. You see here, it's easy to control the diseases. Like you've seen when you're walking in, you're disinfecting your feet, right? So tunazuia magonjwa kutoka na huko nje kukuja, tunazuia wadudu kuingia. It's a controlled environment.
Baada ya mapumziko yasiyo marefu, Karo sasa atatueleza kuhusu unyunyizi wa maji kwa teknolojia hii ya Mr. Jinsi anavyokabiliana na magonjwa na mtazamo wa soko ya miche. Karibu tena mtazamaji. Najua swali ambalo unajiuliza ni Karo alipata ujuzi wa ukulima vipi ikiwa shuleni alifuzu kwa uhandisi? Na je, uzalishaji hapa unafaulu kwa asilimia ipi, haswa tukiangazia utumizi wa cockpit kwa niaba ya mchanga wa kawaida?
You'd say experience, of course, and research. You find me mostly if I'm online, I'm on something agriculture. This thing has been done in India, Israel. You research, you know the right conditions. Actually, what I would say to the youth, the web has a lot of information. Just depends with how you're using it. You see, even social media. For me, social media is a marketing platform. For another person, it's a competition platform. It's for slaying and competing with somebody you met like 10 years ago in college, you see. So there's a lot of information on the net. And again, interact with people. I interact a lot with the agronomists, like the one you've seen here from Syngenta. They guide you. And of course, nikikufunza leo kitu, kesho hautasahau. Na kwa sababu this is a passion. You see, for me this is a passion. And if you're passionate about something, you will research, you will keep the information, you will want even to improve it. Sometimes you even interview an agronomist fresh from school and you're like, oh, I think I have more information than you do. But it's all about the passion. But hata ya akipractice, akikaka huku, hata ya atakuwa guru. For us, because we are a professional seed raiser, so our target is 90. Wow. Limit is 90. Again, we get the seeds directly from the seed companies. So these seeds have been kept in the right conditions, and they are brought to us. We keep them in the right condition. There is no exposure to a lot of sun. So that also contributes to the high germination rate. Again, the care we will give the seedlings when they are here. So our limit is 90. Tukienda below 90, we know something is wrong somewhere. Yeah. So our target is 90. Not this cocoa peat is used for propagation. Yani for unaweza grow nayo in a system we call hydroponics. Whereby you're not using the soil. Now the advantage of using cocoa peat in a nursery badala ya soil, first of all, it's soft. I don't know if you have touched it. It's quite soft, and so ukifunika nayo the ika crop kanaweza kutokelezea. Unaona, so you have good germination rate. Ukiangalia kama hii tray, this is like almost 100 if not 98 hapo percent, right? Na sasa hii cocoa peat, it's able to retain water. Ukiweka maji ina retain maji. Ukipiga dawa ama ukidrench ina hold hiyo. Mchanga kuingisha maji hapa itakuwa ni ngumu. Kama hii cocoa peat, if you put a lot of water, ita drain the excess water na hizi holes ziko huko.
Na kwa kuwa maji ni jambo la muhimu katika shamba lolote lile, kimplanters wanayapata wapi yanayotosheleza miche hii? Na kwa jicho la karibu utagundua shamba hili lina teknolojia inayosaidia kwa unyunyizi.
We have a well actually inside the greenhouse. Wow. You've not seen it. We have a well here. A well, a man-made well. Wow. You see hile ya pesa mingi. Hile ya man-made. Tuko nayo hapa, that's where we get our water. Now the only challenge we have is during the dry season. Let's say March, Feb, maji taisha. When maji meisha, that's when my biggest challenge in this business comes in, because I have to buy water from a neighbor. And we buy that water at 150 per unit. You can imagine buying water for seedling, for washing the trees and washing the pit every day. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Okay, this we call it a mister, not a drip, because it emits from above. Oh. Yes, ukifungulia, because it is boosted by a pump. Ukifungulia zinatoa kitu inakaa mist. If the pressure is very high. If we want to reduce the pressure, itoke kama maji ya mvua, we reduce. So basically this is for watering the seedlings without harming them. Unaona inakuja bila pressure mingi. So hiyo maji ita drip hapa kwa alafu itaingia. So how often we use it? We don't, kama leo you have seen those people who are using the watering cans. We do that when we want to do part by part watering. That's basically for crops we are trying to harden. Kwa sababu when you hardening a crop, you reduce the watering frequency. So kasa hizi, as you can see, product mingi ziko almost ready. Unaona zingine hata tumeziacha zikuwe dry because we want to harden them. So mahali anaona sasa imekauka sana ndio ataweka maji, but we do that for hardening. If you are not hardening, ukapata kama senye the other time utapata tumeka pande hii crops zote ndogo, pande ile crops zote kubwa. So hizi ndogo utapata mista inafunguliwa kila siku, but zile kubwa tutafanya hiyo part. It's just part of the process.
Bila shaka ukulima wa teknolojia ni mfumo wa kulima wengi wanazidi kukumbatia hata kwa kutafuta soko. Karo anaita cashless business, lakini changamoto bado hazikosi.
Technology is a game changer. Changing the game. For me, it's the game changer for this business. People have been doing these things, but they were doing it on the ground. They incurred losses over and over again. But again, if you know this is a technology, right? Technology doesn't have to be a phone. This is a technology, right? This misting is a technology. Ningekuwa na vitu zinakauka huku, kama hakungekuwa na kitu kama hii. Ama watu wengine wangekuwa huku na kuna job ingine bado wanafanya. So like umemaliza employment, you just put them in another venture that they will be doing. So technology is a game changer for us. We are marketing. It also keeps you at par with what is happening in the world. Sahi kuna till number. This is a control. For me, I would say it's a control. Badala ya cash, it's a control. Just go, it inakuwa cashless business. It's a control, it's secure, right? Hii maji, it's a control. Technology is a game changer. I would nikiingia social media sahi nita market. Ukiingia website sahi utaona Kimplanter. It makes people know who you are, what you're doing, and it also changes how you're doing things. Our parents are even on WhatsApp sahi people wamejua, right? Akitaka kujua what you're doing in Nairobi anaingia status anakuona. So it's a game changer. It's an approach we are embracing. Capital is an issue. I wouldn't mind planting with a machine. That would mean I would plant in a bigger portion. Number 2 is land, just like you were saying, because I have the market. If I'm able to expand this to be bigger, I'll be doing it in a bigger scale. For example, we have had to open a branch in Makoyo, a land that I was able to buy recently for expansion of this business. But you see, if it was a continuity of something well already established, ingekuwa poa. Number 3 is now like water, just like I've said. Number 4 is of pests. Saa zingine unapatwa off guard. Pests si sana kama diseases. You see, greenhouse inakuanga na flaps. Tuseme baridi imekuja tu imeingia unexpected. Of course ni diseases. Diseases hata hizo hazita kushtua sana because there is something you can deal with. But again, this is a customer's order. Ikiharibu hiyo order, quite some losses. The other challenge is we are in a market where we are competing with established organizations by foreigners. You can imagine how intimidating it is.
Kwa ruhusa yake Karo, nitawaibia siri. Bidii yake katika ukulima biashara ilituzwa na si mwingine ila, wait for it, Rais Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. In October this year, was it October, I think 2nd, I was awarded by the president. Yeah.
What does this
good.
mean to you?
For me, it's a motivation. Of course, it will bring in opportunities. I'm still open, guys. Opportunities out there. Come. Funding, bana. We need a machine for this business. But what it means, it was a best, now how do we place it? Winner in youth in agriculture category, nationwide. You see, you can nurture a child when they're young. You want to show them, no, actually it's an industry, and it's a profit-making industry, and it's a money-making industry, and it's a career. True. Right? And this is where food comes from. Uwezi kuwa like you have a boy pale kijana mdogo kwa nyumba na kuuliza mom, unamuuliza where does tomato come from, anakuambia from the supermarket. That is shocking. That is shocking. From the supermarket, unaona, mtoto anafaa understand this thing is grown. And it looks like this when it's grown. I actually feel very bad when the youth comes in here and asks me, hii ni crop gani? Sometimes I feel like I don't need to answer. Right? Ati hii ni nini? This is tomato. Like I knew this is tomato when I was 3 years old. You need to know this is tomato.
Kufikia hapo sina la ziada ila kuahidi makala mengine ya kusisimua wiki ijayo. Kwa leo nawaacha na wasia wake Karo wenye utajiri ajabu.
On social media, we are on Facebook as Kimplanter Seedlings. And we have a page, Kimplanter Seedlings and Nurseries, and we have another one, Karoa Seedling. Karoa Seedling is me trying to personalize the business so that I can be able to interact with people one-on-one. We are also on Instagram as Kimplanter Seedlings. We are on Twitter as Kimplanter Seedlings. Physically, we are located in Roiro exit 13 on Thika Road. We have another branch. It's pretty new, but it's operational. It's in Makoyo. Makoyo is Murang'a County, Maragua constituency. Yeah. Farming is cool. If farming can make you meet the president, what is cooler than that? But anyway, farming is a business. It just depends on how you're going to place the business, how you're going to present it, place it, and we are young. You can be able to think of something and place it in a good way. So I would encourage the youth. It's cool. I mean, do we look beaten? No. So it's cool and it is making money. It's good to venture into agriculture. Plus, this is the backbone of our economy. Hakuna siku, people will not eat. Hata IT, ikichange leo, kesho kutakuja ingine serious. People will eat today, they will eat tomorrow.